Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Empowered with Gina podcast. And today we are going to talk all about obviously empowered women, but a founder of a skincare line who's doing it her way and in a big way. And I'm just so inspired by her, Miss Veronica Pedersen.
Thanks for having me, love.
I'm so happy you're
Yeah,
here. And
it's
we
exciting.
just recently met through a mutual friend.
We did, yes.
Yeah, through Katrina Knox.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Katrina. She invited you to an empowerment event that I had, and we went round table. You shared your story, and my jaw hit the floor. And I'm like, okay, everyone needs to know about you and your story.
Yeah.
So before we jump in, I always ask my guests 3 adjectives to describe yourself.
Ooh.
I know. Isn't that a good one?
I would say silly is one. I tend to be really silly, loving, and compassionate, I would say.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So you're now the founder of Timeless Skincare.
Yes.
Where did you start, though? Because you didn't start there.
No, my goodness, a very long story.
Where are you from?
So my parents are Guatemalan immigrants, and they came to this country, and so I'm first generation here. And I feel like the journey of coming and leaving like your motherland and coming for like something different and wanting to have better in your life for you and your family is incredible for me. And as a first generation, I wanted to really solidify myself. I really wanted to make it a reason why, they made the journey, the reason why they left their comforts of where they were at and coming here and stuff. So it really resonates to me being a Latina. And I don't care to use the whole like female boss empowerment type of situation. I think it's we are already powerful as it is. Regardless, I don't think we need to identify with that per se. We already have it. I carry it with my grace. I carry it in how I speak with people, what I do on a daily basis. And so my culture obviously becomes very intertwined into how we conduct business too.
Absolutely.
We do it from a very family perspective. My dad was our first employee. Yeah. So we started this off back in 2009 with my partner, and we've been going strong ever since.
Did you, when you were going through school, know that you wanted to be a founder of a beauty
crazy
industry?
Enough, no, I did not. I went to nursing school, so I was in the medical field for about 10 years.
Was school a big focus in your family growing up?
Not at all. No, it wasn't.
Really?
Yeah, we were just hardworking people. I mean, I had a job at 14 and labeling nail polishes at a warehouse. Yeah. and then I did a banking course. So I worked at CalFed for a while, and I just kind of bounced around different jobs, reception jobs and things like that, and ended up going to medical assisting school to Bryman, and it was just because I needed a job.
So no direct vision, no overarching goal. You were just like paying your bills.
Paying bills. Yeah. It was just one of those things. But I will say that in high school, I was a part of this thing called Academy of Business Leadership. I'm not sure if ABL still exists, but I did this program, and it opened my eyes to like a different type of way of life. I know college was essential, and I don't knock it. People should go to college and study and get, their degrees and things like that. But my course was different. I don't have a formal college education. I have an associate's degree. It's as far as I got. Right. And a lot of my work came through just like struggle, essentially. Yeah. I would have loved the networking factor. I would have loved learning certain things more, maybe being more disciplined in areas for sure. But it wasn't for me. I just it was just hard work, struggling.
Yeah. And it's not for everyone. I love that you're saying that, because a lot of people put so much emphasis and stress and pressure on themselves to get through school. And yes, go to school, please.
For sure.
Yeah, it's available to you, and you can, even if through the sacrifice, do it. Yeah. It helps.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it also is not the end of the world if you don't. And in fact, some of the most successful people are the ones that did not, some didn't even finish high school. Some never even went to college, etc. So I love that, and I really applaud and support that, because
thank you.
it's not the linear way to success. That's not the only way.
There's so many different avenues.
Absolutely.
And you learn in this process of failures and growth processes too. That's also a path. And I just believe that for me specifically, this is where I needed to be, where God took me in my path, to be where I am now.
Oh my gosh.
So very exciting.
Okay, let's get to it.
Sure.
What was the aha moment? I need to start a beauty industry empire.
Well, so in 2009, I met my partner. We co-founded the company together.
Why? Were you working in the industry?
No, actually, my mom, she was kind of the inspiration. Yeah. So my mom worked at Aida Gray in Beverly Hills, right off of Wilshire and Rodeo.
Is it a spa?
It was an all-encompassing salon, essentially, right? And Aida Gray, the founder, she had a cosmetic line, also a beauty line, skincare line. She was very known during that time, tons of celebrities coming in through. And I grew up in that environment. My mom used to fill the jars there of the product. Essentially, she started off there when she was like 17 years old. Wow. By the end of the phase for Aida Gray, the company, she was like a corporate manager.
Whoa.
So she had a very, very long time there. And so I got a lot to learn from the time that she was there. But there was a time in which my partner was just coming out of school. We're talking about 2008, 2009 timeframe. I was still in nursing school, and she just kind of like started talking about like what does this look like for you guys, like what's going on and things, and kind of just gave a little bit of a nugget. And because he has a background in chemistry, he has a background, he wanted to be a dermatologist. And so, he came out of school, not sure exactly. And this is also, mind you, this is a very difficult time frame in 2008. At the time, my parents were both unemployed. He was putting in applications everywhere and couldn't get employment. Went to a staffing agency to pick up trash at Universal Studios parking lots. I mean, where you can make it. I used to DJ on the side on the weekends.
You told me about that.
I did.
That is a whole other conversation. And in Vegas, right?
No, not in Vegas. Just here in Southern California, locally. But like for family parties, and got hired for events and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I know. DJ'd for a while. I'm like a jack of all trades type of situation.
So important.
Yeah, for sure.
2008.
Yeah, 2008.
Parents are unemployed. You're doing your just
making
basic job,
just trying to get it done.
And your partner at the time is newly graduated, looking for a job, can't find anything, starts collecting trash just to get income.
Yeah, we were selling things on Craigslist, refurbishing things, selling weight systems, DVDs. I mean, when you say anything you could sell to try to make it, just to make rent, right? $800 rent, $1,000 mortgage, et cetera, right? Jeez. Just to do it. And there was, like I said, my mom kind of provided this kind of like knowledge, and she gave my partner some books and some kind of like an idea. And so he just started formulating, and he was just tinkering with stuff in his apartment. And I came along and I was like, hey, well, we should probably, bottle this and send it off for efficacy reasons, ensuring like that it's a safe product. And he created the hyaluronic acid pure, which is one of our products. So here our product in the very beginning, and went off and started selling on eBay. And
that's the first way you started it.
First way, yeah. And
no name, no brand.
Well, we called it Timeless Skincare to turn back time. We thought we were doing something special. Yeah. We just didn't know exactly what we were doing, to be very frank with you. I think we had like $400 to our name. I invested a little bit here. He invested there. I remember running to like, I think Home Depot or not Home Depot, excuse me, Office Depot or Staples to buy like labels, and I can print it out on a machine and label the bottles ourselves and use little tamper evidence seals where you apply heat to it. And here we are sterilizing things and just doing right by what I thought what we were doing, essentially. Yeah. There's no marketing. There's no advertising. It's like, okay, here's a product. These are the background. This is the research for, the reason the sodium hyaluronate, what it does itself, hyaluronic acid. It's one of the main ingredients in most skincare preparations. In fact, in makeup now too. And that's kind of how it started. And little by little through reviews And it just kind of grew through reviews because eBay reviews. And we went on to Amazon's platform. This is before fulfillment by Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Before the whole, get it at your doorstep in 2 hours type of situation. Yeah. So yeah, we ended up in top 10 of all of beauty on Amazon.
See how easy that is?
It's I will say,
what year was that?
Oh my goodness, I would say
from
that
2008 to what?
2013, I think, maybe.
2013.
Yeah, because we went from essentially distributing and manufacturing in an apartment.
I was going to say, is that where you're doing it? Where you were
essentially living? In the very, very beginning, very, very grassroots kind of operation, very like Etsy style now kind of thing, good. Right?
So
to then my parents' backyard, where we just distribution purposes there. We had like a clean room, a whole like back room, like an ADU built or whatever.
And then you do the fulfillment, the packaging, the labeling.
Yes,
mail.
To this day, in fact. Yeah, to this day. And then we went from there to 3,000 square feet of our first facility, and 3,000 to 18,000 square feet. No, 10,000 square feet. Because I will tell you this, when we got into 10,000 square feet, I walked into that facility and I was like, there's no way. I have a $9,000 lease payment now. I have this massive facility, all of these offices.
How scared were you?
Absolutely terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Because in the moment, I was still like all of our customer service support, and I tell the joke. It's not a joke. It's like an actual story. People would email us and I would reply back, thank you so much, Jessica. Thank you so much, Veronica. Thank you so much, Gina. Thank you. To
make it sound like you had a team.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's the whole old adage, right? You fake it till you make it. Yeah. So that's kind of like the very beginnings. And so we were in our second warehouse facility, and we would build out our own clean rooms, so I had to learn a little bit about construction and electricity, and I'm like watching this whole process in front of us. We were still hand filling, and sometimes to this day we still hand fill some products, depending on like how the orders are coming in. But we started investing money into machinery. So then I had to learn about customs.
So, investing in your own machinery so people can understand, so that you would cut out the middle person creating the product for you.
Because we've done it all ourselves since the very beginning. We still do all of the manufacturing of the actual product itself, have all the raw materials and the goods. We fill, seal, label, package, box, tape, distribute, peanuts. You're talking about the entire process. We still do it all in-house. And now we're doing it at 80,000 square feet in Stafford, Texas. Or Houston, Texas. But
80,000 in case you didn't hear that part.
Yeah, 80,000. So it's been a
How many employees do you have?
We have about 34 employees at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, so what was the aha moment? The second one, I guess, after your Amazon, you're named on Amazon. Was there anything after that point that really helped you skyrocket beyond, like caught you that off guard, and you're whoa?
Yeah, I would say when we started partnering with distributors in China, there was a specific distributor that had contacts at Alibaba. And Alibaba invited us, Timeless Skincare, to an event in 2017 in Detroit called Gateway 17.
Okay.
And they wanted to showcase how a manufacturing company in the United States can have a global impact in places like China, Southeast Asia. Essentially, the idea was a gateway for companies in the United States to also promote their products in China, right? You're talking about 1.3 billion people, right? And so I think the United States were like 370 million of a population or so. And so if you think about it, there is an opportunity for growth, right? And so Jack Ma specifically came to our booth. I had a conversation with him. Yeah, it's a whole thing. It was a whole thing. I had a conversation with Mr. Ma, and
look him up if you don't know who he is. He's like the wealthiest man who started and still runs. No, I don't think.
I'm not sure exactly the details now.
Big deal. Bottom line, big
Yeah,
deal.
Jack Ma.
Stop.
Yeah, and it was really one of those aha moments when it felt like he was like, oh, I was showing him the products, and he was walking around our booth. They set it up for us. They paid for everything for us to come out there. They really believed in what we were doing, and they had a whole film crew come to our warehouses and film everything, and they displayed us on this big screen, and I got to speak in front of like 3,000 people, and it was truly one of those moments like, I think I'm doing something right in this life.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And then I got invited to like this, like a little sip and gather type of thing after the fact. And it was a much more private kind of thing with Mr. Ma. And again, he actually came up to me. I was just kind of just standing there. I had like I had a plate of food.
You're like,
in my
this
hand.
is awesome.
I had a cocktail in my hand and a plate of food. And I'm just like, oh, hey.
Wow.
He's like, oh, I just want to tell you, I really love like the colors, because everything's so bright that what we have, everything is like color coded essentially. And it has nothing to do with nothing, but it was easy for us to color code our products because it's easier for us to say the pink one, the orange one, the blue one.
So no major strategy or thought process.
Nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, everything came out of functionality, I think. And I think when you approach life from a functional perspective, things are more simplistic, like the simplicity of things. And that's exactly what we are. Our ingredients are simple. You can research them if you like, especially now. Transparency is so key in this world now. And everything wasn't really thought out, but as we got bigger and we got better at things, it's been a journey, and now we're in Target shelves, as of February.
I can't. I mean, I can, but I can't.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're still self-invested, no other investors, no bank loans. We're just
from the $400 you start.
Yeah. I still think about it. We're talking about 15 years now, and I've had like an epiphany recently about it. I've become very unapologetic about it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yes. Like, I see other brands coming about, and it's fantastic because I'm a consumer. I'm the lady that has 7 different shampoos in my shower,
all the different smells.
Yeah. I own a skincare company, and I still love other products.
Love that.
You know what I mean?
That.
And I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the industry itself and of the entire way of doing things. But from what I like to do is a sense of transparency. Yeah. I want my mom to use the products, my friends to use the products. So I have to make sure that what I'm doing is correct. I don't want any types of issues for their skin. I don't want any other conditions to occur. I want to be research-based. I want to have these type of efficacies, these things, these a little bit more ethical, moral in some of our manufacturing.
It's so important. Yeah. And now it's such a marketable thing to be transparent.
Yeah.
Because now the consumers are waking up to being their own advocates.
Absolutely.
Thankfully.
Absolutely.
And the ones that aren't, at least they're not being harmed by the stuff they're using. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we've talked about the shiny part of the career and the journey.
Yeah.
I know there have been probably way more failures and tears and I don't know what the F I'm doing moments than there have been wins. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What is kind of the common denominator conversation you have with yourself? Mm-hmm. For people listening, in their life, they're facing maybe repetitive kind of trends of failures. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. How do you get through it? Because as you're continuing to grow, you're going to continue to fail. Yeah. Fortunately, I think it's part of it. How do you talk to yourself?
I will say this. I think I have to really direct this to my partner because there was a moment in 2020, obviously during COVID, and there was a lot going on during that time frame. There was a situation in which I thought that we were going to lose it all. It's that existential crisis happening, right? It's like, what do? You have all of these employees and their families. You have essentially a brand, a name. Other people rely on your success. See, it's just not the company itself. We're talking about an entire ethos going on, an entire economy going on around you. If you're building that employs people to clean it, to sustain it, right? Then the leasing offices that have people there, the other vendors that we purchase boxes from, that all the distribution, you're talking about an entire economic situation, right? What we do for $20 million a year, what we do affects so many different
Jeez.
people.
That's very risky
Mm-hmm.
and weighs on
Absolutely, it
the
weighs on you.
business owner.
Absolutely.
And people don't realize that. They just
No.
look at the shiny stuff, like, oh, look at
Yeah.
her, the big numbers, the name,
Yeah.
they don't sit with you when
Mm-hmm.
you're in those moments.
Absolutely. So of course you have an existential crisis. Of course there's like this kind of feeling of just, oh my gosh, it's gonna just all go
Yeah.
away,
Yeah.
know? And my partner reassured me. He said that it took us 10 years to get here. It'll take us 5 next time.
Wow.
Because we already did it.
You already did it.
Right? You already failed at something. And by picking yourself up again, you already know your mistakes and your do's and your don'ts. Right. And so a lot of it is important to see it from that perspective.
That's so good.
And as I go along now, again, I'm like in a phase of being unapologetic, but I also feel like I'm in a new phase, my altruistic phase. You know, I feel like where I have now a moment to breathe a little bit. I'm not like running around. I'm not the 20 different customer service individuals anymore because we have a team for that now. I have a different way of being able to tell our story. Not only that Timeless is a success in itself, but the people that are part of Timeless are successful. You know, they have their careers and their homes and their, you know, paying college educations and raising their kids. I mean, for those that have been with us since the beginning in that respect, we're still a family company. I have my cousins are with us, employed by us. You know, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And I would say that the biggest blessing that I can take from this is being able to give back now more than ever.
So fulfilling.
Yeah, in so many different ways. If it's not paying someone's bill or being a direct, perhaps, inspiration to some, you know, which I never think of it like that. I think of like an imposter syndrome.
You still get that?
Absolutely. Yes.
Talk to me about this.
Yeah, absolutely. Why? Because you just don't see yourself as that. My favorite like food on the planet is a Costco hot dog. Like
love with the Diet Coke. Oh God.
You get what I'm saying? Like a part of you just doesn't see yourself like that. Although you've had the nice expensive dinners and maybe the nice lavish vacations or whatever the case is.
It still doesn't feel
like it.
Like ownership.
No, absolutely not. No, and I like that part of me.
Okay.
I like the humility part. You know, I like the part that, yes, you can dress up and you can be the, you know, the person in the room, right?
Have the things.
Yeah, have the things, right? But it doesn't make you.
Isn't that the best?
It's beautiful to be able to say that. It's beautiful to be able, like yesterday, I you know, after a show, we went to a taco place, you know, and it's like, you know, a hole in the wall kind of establishment.
So delicious, probably.
Sat outside on a bench and ate a burrito or half a burrito, but like still, it was just like, this is life.
Gosh, it's so good.
This is life. It's okay. It's okay to have the highs and the lows or having the spontaneous moments. You can't take yourself too serious in this life.
No, gosh.
You can't, you know.
Can't. You really can't.
And I really believe that I continue to make myself always remember where I came from. I never forget those struggles. I don't forget the tortilla with the hot dog in the microwave. Oh. You know what I mean? I don't ever forget the way my parents struggled, the way I saw the rest of my family struggle. I will never forget that, you know, although life is a little cush now a little bit.
You created that.
It's nice, you know, I can't lie, but I still remember these things and I want to be the best employer possible. I want to influence our industry from the perspective of the transparency, that there are real people that run these companies, that we are real individuals. You know, we're just not like, you know, people in a boardroom directing what's going on. This is what separates me from like a lot of other brands, I think, that you can essentially directly reach out to us and get a hold of me.
Live person who's actually working there.
Absolutely. Yeah. And see the story behind it and see the reasonings behind it. You know, my partner is the chemist. He is the formulator of the products, you know, and I became a salesperson alongside. It was with no formal training, no nothing,
no degree, no MBA, no law degree.
No, I just became my own customer. I just became my own customer.
What would I want as a customer?
Absolutely. Yeah. How do I want it? Yeah. And so I started just seeing it from that perspective and doing the research accordingly, right? Because you don't know nothing about payroll. And so
Oh gosh,
how
yeah.
do you run payroll and who do you
With
talk to?
taxes
And
and all the things.
yeah, so many different hurdles for sure. I would say that.
So you started with one product, the
Mhm.
hyaluronic acid. How many
Mhm.
products are you at now?
We're at 14,
Oh my gosh.
and I like to keep it, again, concise. Simplicity is key. We focus on what we do best of our serums. Our very big hero product is our 20% vitamin C ferulic acid.
Yes.
And it's an amazing product. I obviously use it myself.
And your skin is very tight
yeah,
and
thanks.
supple.
Trying to.
Yeah. So it works.
Trying to. Yeah, so we're at 14 products, and I don't see us going into other spheres like moisturizers, as far as like cream-based moisturizers.
Talk to me about that, because this is
Yeah.
interesting from a business owner's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about, I guess, being judicious and intentional, because you see traction and you start selling.
Mm-hmm.
Then you naturally, I think, sometimes say, let's do this, let's expand, let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
How do you manage, and how do you know to stay in your lane, so to speak?
It's the best lane. It's our manufacturing lane. It's
Okay.
where if I decide to add another product, or let's just say a toner, for example, I would have to invest a lot of money into machinery, another type of way of making it, per se, this kind of stuff, because again, we do it all in house. I don't subcontract it outward to someone else, and so I have to really be considerate of that. But I really like business models that are kind of concise, like In and Out here in California.
Yes, I'm fascinated by that model.
It's absolutely amazing.
I saw something, I read an article where the owner, Lindsay Snyder,
Mm-hmm.
said she will never contract with Postmates or Grubhub.
Right.
She goes,
Yeah.
part of our model, which is tried and true,
Mm-hmm.
the customer shows up, and part of it is having that fresh food then.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Why change it?
She could make a bunch of money by going on Postmates.
Not all money is good money.
That was a very eye-opening moment, and you're
Yeah.
saying basically the same thing.
Yeah, not all money is good money. And I believe that if there's to me, it's a slow and steady pattern, right? It's a stability factor.
Mhm.
I really believe in the recipe, right? And the recipe is like that cookie recipe that, came down generations, and it's still the same recipe. Didn't change. We didn't add anything to it. It's the same thing. It's the same comfort.
Consistent.
It's the same, it's the same, it's the same comfort.
Yeah.
It's the same consistency, and it brings you the warmth and the pleasure from it. And it's been decades of it, right? And so I want to continue that same pattern.
Mm-hmm.
I know that we could, grow ourselves substantially, for sure. But at what cost? At what cost?
Oh.
Yeah, at what cost? Even personal cost.
That's the more expensive one.
Absolutely. You have to, I'm working on my health. I had a lot of hurdles going on in my life. I used to be like 500 pounds, as an example, so you really tried. The stress is what got to me. The stress of building what we have going on now. There's just so much to it. You don't realize. I mean, I was running, our products to post offices. I was labeling things, and I've done it all. I've done it every single facet. I've cleaned the bathrooms. I've done every facet of this company. I have done.
Yeah.
And it does take a toll on you. It takes a toll on you physically, emotionally, mentally. There's a lot of tolls that it takes. Mm-hmm. And for anybody listening, know that it is a journey. But it is a fabulous journey as you go through it. Because what else is there to do? What else is there to do,
I applaud you, and I want to follow your journey, because I know you are growing, staying in your lane, and there's just so much to unpack here. And we just breezed over your journey, which I feel does not do it service or justice at all. But I appreciate you coming here to share this with me, because when we met again, I was just like floored. And because I know what the toil, yes, the success, great, fine, love that. What have you gone through? Like, what has been the failure? What has been the heartache? What have been those sleepless nights? What have been the no's that been told to your face over and over and over? Or like the thing that comes out of nowhere where you were not expecting it.
Well, I have a really good story about some of that. There are people that don't believe in you. They sort of see you in the beginning and don't realize that you have potential and power. And oftentimes to me, that's like in my faith, that's like the devil talking to you. That is saying to you that you're not good enough. And God already gave you the anointment. He already gave you the power. And it's just to you to tap into that. And in life, whether or not you believe in God or have any other faith or whatever, agnostic, whatever you do in life, just know that you already have the potential. It's just in you already. And a lot of things, it's noise around us that we have to start canceling out in order to get to a certain path, you know? And there's nobody in this world that you have to pretend to essentially allow for them to give you validation. You know what I mean? There's no one else. There's no one else. I don't have to impress anyone. I don't have to look a certain way. I don't have to wear something specific. I don't have to have a special house, a special car. I have come through this like literal realization most recently, in fact, in my life. I'm in my 40s now, and I've done it. Gina, I've done it. When I say I've done it, I've done it. And I'm very grateful for the process. But knowingly, it didn't make me. None of that stuff made me. It was just nice to be a part of, you know? So now, like I said, I'm more of an altruistic phase. And I feel like if I would have already known this phase 10 years ago, it would be in a different place right now. Meaning I would be much more... I think perhaps maybe even more profitable, because I would have stopped thinking about myself and my gains and just reinvesting everything I can possibly invest.
Interesting.
Including my time.
Interesting.
Because, you know, you get to a point where you get a little kind of like, I'm going to sit back a little bit. I'm going to relax a little bit. Like the hustle isn't as there as much sometimes, you know. It's, you know, you're going to hustle, but sometimes it's not there. They're like the part of wanting to eat, right? Because now you got a steak in front of you.
Yes.
Right? It's different.
Yes.
So it changes you a little bit as you go along. But if I would have been in this stage that I'm in now, I think 10 years ago would have been a little bit different. I think I would have had a nonprofit already. Okay. You know, I would have started my more altruistic phase, my second mountain, as they say.
Maybe this is the start of you putting into the universe. You heard it here first. She's starting her nonprofit is what I'm envisioning.
I have a plan.
Okay. And you follow through with your plans, apparently.
I do. Yeah, these days for sure. Yeah, I have a plan. And obviously Timeless is my everything. I'm so thankful to have been part of this and continue to be part of it, you know. And what I see for Timeless specifically is just continuing doing the right thing.
That's right.
I want to be that 40-year company, you know, that we're still doing the same thing. It's the same products. It's the same recipe. Nothing has changed. We're still good, you know.
You can trust it.
We can trust it. Yeah. I mean, come on. I have reviews of like 10 years ago reviews. It's wild to say that.
Unbelievable. Well, I'm just, again, I applaud you and congratulations on the success. It's so beautiful to see a person do it, let alone like a woman.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I love that you say, I'm not, you know, I also don't lead with, I'm a woman-owned business. I'm a woman lawyer. No, I'm a lawyer. I'm a business owner.
Absolutely.
We don't,
absolutely.
you know, put glass ceilings on ourselves.
That, because you tend to find identity there sometimes. Right. Well, they put you in that identity.
That's what they want.
Right? You're Latina, and so this is your place. No, I'm a human being. Thank you. I'm a human being. Thank you. Yes, I'm a Latina. Yes, I'm a woman. Yes, I have these other things going on. But there's no identity. That's part of me. That's not my identity. Oh my identity is a human being that is just trying to function in this world. And for me, at least me, I want to leave a legacy of good. That's all I want to do, is leave a legacy of good. And how do I do it? By assuring that the business that I'm conducting is doing right by individuals. That's right. Not only the customers, but our staff and anybody that becomes associated to Timeless. And furthermore, whatever we do outside of like community efforts, like you and your husband, you guys do amazing community efforts. I see that. I was surprised. I was in the lobby. I was like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah, we do. It's like you know, it's fulfilling.
It is super fulfilling.
There's nothing like being able to help someone.
Giving back, and not giving back just to give back. There's a lot of times.
Anyone can write a check.
Absolutely.
Oh no, we spend our time.
It's showing privilege. Up. Absolutely.
It's a privilege to be able to do it.
And a lot of times, as you know, and I know that you do this, you often don't even promote it.
Oh gosh, no.
There's no cameras.
Some of the stuff
there.
is, but a lot of the stuff nobody knows we're doing.
No one knows that you're doing it on a daily basis. No one knows that, you know, someone calls you for some help and you're like, Sure, I'll Venmo you.
So good.
I got it.
It's so good.
I'll help you out.
That's
you
right.
know, so no one sees that aspect of what it is to be an entrepreneur, what it is to put a lot of your efforts into things. You know, like I was saying, sometimes it just feels like I'm the same person. I shop at the Costco. I love Costco. Kirkland is everything.
Love it, right? It's affordable.
It's amazing.
Good. I love Costco.
Yeah, it's amazing. And so I continue to see myself like that, although other people may say otherwise. Maybe they think, wow, you guys are amazing and you're amazing. You're like, no, I'm not that amazing.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
No, I'm not that amazing. I'm chill. I have like a little Stanley Cup. I'm great.
You're so funny.
Fine.
Well, I love you really, truly for sharing this and being
love.
here. And I know you're going to inspire just your story.
Thank you
So
very
many
much.
people. So how can people follow you and the product line? And because you all need to go buy everything, all 14 products immediately. Please share.
So yeah, definitely. So you can find us at Timeless Skincare. You could just Google us. You can find us all kinds of places. Definitely on Target shelves. We have 4 SKUs right now, so 4 products in Target shelves. 1,300 stores. Find us on Amazon. Find us all kinds of different platforms. Obviously our Instagram. We're there, Timeless Skincare as well. So I would just say just find us. People can find us. We're so researchable now. You know that it's fantastic.
Well,
so.
I believe and know that our community will support you because that's what we do.
Yeah, for sure.
And I would love to have you back to talk about your nonprofit work and the next phase and what, how you're going to continue to grow.
Yeah, love. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.